This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
It's great to be a Cowboy, isn't it? This is how we do stuff. This is the Cowboys. We're trying to do something. Really, it's time to leave the football team. It's time. It's your time.
It's our time right now. 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 It's our time right now.
He was a giant, and he was a cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Mr. Williams. How are you doing this evening?
I'm feeling blue today. Can you see I'm dressed up in my blue?
Oh, man. I'm feeling blue too, but it's cowboy blue.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
I feel sorry for you.
Okay.
You will have to be in the same thing that's always this season is going to be like it's been for the Giants for the last couple of years, unfortunately.
That's why we got to play the game. That's why we play the game, because we never know. We never know.
You never know. I have to say this. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
I'm pretty sure you would know about a squirrel by growing up in New Jersey. It's hard to find a nut in New Jersey.
Yes, they are. Yes, it is.
But there's plenty of trees in Texas.
Yeah, there is plenty of trees, but there's plenty of trees after you get outside the major cities in Jersey. And you've been there.
Yeah. I've been there. What's going on, Matt?
I just wanted to say something here.
Yes.
Let's talk. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Day forecast is looking a little bit like those Dallas Cowboys is peaking in the 90s. Now we look at our 10-day forecast is looking a little bit like those Dallas Cowboys is peaking in the 90s. Now we look at our 10-day
I can't get enough of this.
It's looking a little bit like those Dallas Cowboys is peaking in the 90s.
It is obvious that nowhere that shows you the popularity of the Cowboys. That happened in Mississippi.
American team, NY.
Yep. America's team. They're always going to be haters. They're always going to be haters. That's just we get used to it. When you're rock stars, you got to get used to some people yelling at you. The Cowboys.
When you rock star, that's why people throw rocks at you.
So the producer plays something like that to get me going. I'm already going. I'm not worried about those things. That's just one person's consider the source. He lives in Mississippi. He lives in the backwoods of Mississippi. He probably doesn't even have any lights at night. It's probably all dark.
Yeah. Well,
consider the source.
Sometimes that some people live so deep in the woods they have to pipe sunlight down there to them because they live so deep in the woods. So
you know that because you're from Texarkana, so you're right.
That's it's deep and dark down there. That's why I'm gonna give you a special invitation to come down there in a couple of weeks. So that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if they can give you a parade or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if my high beams work because I have to use them to get anywhere at night there.
That is crazy, but you know what? I smell football in there.
I do too.
We got any news about football?
Yes, we do. We're talking about. Let's talk about a former Giant, Golden Tate.
Golden Tate, 33 years old.
33 years, and he's got a new team in a new position.
What's that?
He is a center fielder for an independent baseball league on the Port Angels lefties in center field.
You know, when he was when he got recruited by Notre Dame, you know, he got drafted out of high school, you know, by the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yes.
And then while in college, he got drafted again by the San Francisco Giants.
Yes. So he's been drafted twice. But do you think he has a really legitimate opportunity to play in the majors?
Well, I think, you know, being an athlete, if your first love, or if your love is a certain game, I think you should go ahead and try to fill that void. I think that's been itching him. He's been, you know, 11 years in the NFL. And I think now, you know, he sees himself want to go back and play baseball.
Mm-hmm. So, but Tim Tebow was the same way. And you saw, I didn't think did he ever make it to the majors?
He tried out in AAA, I think. You know, I don't think he was brought up. And so one of the things that, you know, mature athletes have, they still have the mindset to go and play, but actually performing in those young guys, and
that's true.
You know, especially in these type leagues, baseball leagues, you know, they travel a lot.
Yeah, and Charlie Ward he made the transition from basketball. He was a great football player, but he also he played professionally basketball, but he didn't do it at the same time. Right. Yeah.
But Golden Tate, he was, you know, he hit 45 home runs while at Notre Dame, you know.
Really?
Yeah. So he got a bat now. He got a bat, so
yeah. I don't think the Mets or the Yankees will sign him, but it'd be something if they did sign him.
I think that would be good. I think it'd be exciting to see if that could happen.
Yeah. I'm wishing him the best of luck. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not like our director over there hating on certain things, but I think the guy. I wish him the best of luck. I know it's going to be difficult.
I'm just going to say his last contract, NFL contract, was a 4-year contract, $37.5 million. He was averaging $9.3 million a year in football. And in that last contract, he was guaranteed almost $23 million in that contract.
It was with the Giants, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's not there anymore with him.
No, he decided to go elsewhere.
He's on the bus now.
He's on that bus. That bus be traveling, you know.
He's doing that Michael Jordan thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm wondering if Deion and Bo Jackson ever played in the minors.
I don't think those guys did. They played major league. They were definitely on the team when they played. I think maybe 1 or 2 times Bo Jackson might have went down, but they mostly were playing in the majors.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. The reason I was thinking about it, because we had 2 quarterbacks, Chad Hutchinson, Stanford, and Drew Henson from Michigan. And they tried out for the Cowboys, and they struggled to play football after they both signed professional baseball contracts. And they weren't caliber, NFL caliber to me at that position. I was coaching then. And, baseball, neither one made it. So,
well, I tell you, being a professional athlete, you just got to be one of the most focused and you know, you just got to be focused to play that game and put out that production for us, the demand and the grind that you have to put in. You know, it's a different game from going from beating baseball to football to basketball. You know, it's just hard to do.
Yeah, your guy wanted to play Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he wanted to play. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty high. I think he was a first draft pick.
Yeah, he was with the A's, Oakland A's.
Yeah, football and baseball. And he did go and play with him some. Not obviously in the major leagues, but in one of their farm clubs.
Yeah. I think it's good coming out of college to have some type of, you know, leverage to, you know, for negotiating.
Yeah, John Elway did perfect with it. John Elway got what he wanted. He didn't want to go to Indianapolis, and he ended up in Denver. And he won, 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
And he's a Hall of Famer, so, yeah. So, you do need that leverage.
Exactly.
But I wish him the best of luck. I hope he does it. I hope he does well. Let's talk a little bit about Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman, yeah, I just saw him a month ago at the NFLPA leadership convention over in Scottsdale, and he was floating around talking to the players and talking about the collective bargaining agreement and some of the things that they had to get through with some of the players rep from team to teams, and he's been involved with leadership and players rep for ever since he was in Seattle, and of course he gonna be on the Thursday night Amazon Thursday Night Football.
What do you think of that?
He loved to talk. I mean, the whole time we was at the convention, he was talking. So I think he can fit right in. I know he have had some test runs, some test runs this offseason. A lot of guys in the offseason do that broadcasting test run. So they've been prepping him. I think he should be ready to go.
Now, you have to run some gassers after the show. Your phone went off. Your phone went off in the show, and there's no.
Well, I'm trying to cut it off. I'm trying to, we got these. We got our NFL meeting tomorrow night.
Oh, now you got to make. Oh yeah, now you got to make excuses.
And we
build bridges to nowhere.
Hey Jim, you just don't know. This phone rings every other minute.
I believe it.
But now we do have our meeting tomorrow night, and we're gonna have some good times, and
it's really good,
guys. Because let me tell you something. We've been in this pandemic, so this is our second meeting. So these guys are excited. They want to get out, and we can have a little pool table sitting up in the room as well. So maybe some guys can go and lose some pool balls or whatever. And we overseeing these cards and things like that.
It's an unbelievable place.
It's a nice venue. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's a little difficult to get to. It's a little difficult. You gotta.
Well, that's what navigation system's all about. You got to navigate.
Yeah, but it puts you right in a circle, kind of.
Yeah. I went by there today, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
You notice I'm keeping my throat fresh tonight with mine.
Yeah. But you don't even know if there's something poison about that cup.
Man, I can't believe you know you're a Giant fan, so I don't know why you don't go ahead and let me and Matt understand. Say, yeah, man, I'm deep down inside. I'm a Giant fan. I'm Big Blue. Go Big Blue.
Deep down inside, I'm a Cowboys and Buffalo Bills fan.
Okay. We'll accept that today. Yeah. This is a Wednesday. This is a hump day. So
I got some good teams too. How about them Cowboys? And nobody circles the wagons like the Bills.
That's what they say. Bill Mafia, baby.
That's right, Bills Mafia. But I think
what I was gonna say about Richard Sherman, it's gonna be interesting to see him Thursday night. Amazon, Amazon is trying to. This is their first year in that big contract they signed with the NFL players, NFL contract that they so they're gonna be featuring a lot of Thursday night games this season.
Yeah. And interesting is that Eagles trying to get into this too. They said they're going to be the next ones for a Sunday ticket.
Well, all I know is they supposed to be coming in negotiating a part of that for the retired players. A part of that goes into the pension plan off of some of these contract deals.
So they're going to increase the pension?
They should. That's part of the deal is the percentage should go. They divide it up and stuff, right? So it should go into some of the pension. A little bit. I don't know what percentage it will, but it's still early, and so I'm thinking 22 to 25, year 25, 2020, 25. We should.
Remember, I said 2025.
Yeah, we should know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, 2025, and in 2025, I will be 64 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
So. Actually, I will be. This is 2022. Yeah, I'd be 64 years old.
Yeah. Yep. You still look young, man.
I look, somebody told me I look like I'm 40.
You drinking some sweet water or what you drinking?
I chose the right parents.
I'm gonna have to call Marlene Brown and see what kind of what the Cowboy fans drink.
Oh my goodness. We got a clown. Mac is usually on the boards for us, but he's not here tonight, so they brought in Bozo the Clown to take his place.
Yeah.
Got all these jokes. I mean, I don't know. But Richard Sherman, I think he'll do a good job. He just got to obviously get comfortable. But his personality is good for television.
And plus he know the game. I mean, you want somebody to help bring the color and bring it, bring some excitement and bring those little golden nuggets that people want to hear,
Exactly. I agree. I agree 100%. And I think he'll do those things. I mean, he's a Stanford graduate.
Yep.
He's did well obviously in the NFL. And I think
five-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, 5-time Pro Bowler. Mm-hmm. And I think, like you said, he likes to talk.
Let me. His stats is 495 tackles. He fired short of 500. 37 interceptions. Mm-hmm. So he almost had 40 interceptions. But yeah, he had a nice career.
Yeah,
and and he's leaving on the table to where he might want to come back.
Mm-hmm. Thought one of you would have been selected. We make too much money here, Jason.
What's up, Jay?
Good morning. Good evening, Jason. But we would have, but we couldn't leave this. This is the best job in America. We make so much money doing this. Amazon couldn't match it. That's
Amazon need to start matching something, because let me tell you, we big time.
Yeah. I mean, shit, we are huge.
But Jason, we really appreciate you, man. You always
Jason
always bring some excitement to the game, to the night.
That's why I used to be down on Minnesota. Now I'm up on Minnesota because of Jason.
Well, yeah, Jason. I mean,
he gives me insight on Minnesota every morning.
Minnesota gonna be the sleeper.
Yep, I said that. Now, still in NFL news, Derrick Henry is open to extension from the Titans.
Well, he said his foot is healthy.
Yeah.
He's scheduled to make $12.5 million. I don't know why I pick up all this stuff, but yeah, he's scheduled to make. But I think they might try to give him an extension.
Now, here's my question: is he 28 years old?
Yeah, I think he's 27.
28. So we know the shelf life. I know he works extremely hard. That's not the question, but the shelf life of running backs are a lot shorter than other positions. I think that's what the Cowboys made a mistake with Ezekiel Elliott, is giving, and I'm not saying he's not a good player, but there are rare players like the Frank Gores and some of the other guys that have played a long period of time. It's very rare at that running back position because it's such a physically demanding position.
Exactly, and we talked about 28 to 30 years old for the running back. That time frame is getting to where you might be on a downward slope. You are on a downward slope.
Yeah, so, and Adrian Peterson. I mean, when he hit that wall, he hit it immediately, and Adrian Peterson was one of the best.
Oh man! You have to get that formation now. That's the whole thing about being on the offense. You got to know your formations.
Yeah.
And the information.
Yeah. So, but we got to say our typical Minnesota stuff because Jason's here and Jason. Let
me tell you something about Minnesota this year. Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the top receiver this year.
He's gonna be good.
And we're going to have Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't argue because I think Minnesota's going to be better.
Oh, yeah. I like the coach. The coach came in there with some new excitement. They got some personnel changes. And the Minnesota Vikings going to be the surprise of the NFC North Division.
Yeah. Now, there's going to be some questions because there's some questions on defense.
Yeah.
But that's where they're going to struggle a little bit, but you're right. Yeah, I know it, Jason. We talk every morning. I know I rock.
And let me tell you something, Jason. One of my closest friends is Alfred Anderson. So,
good man.
and I have to just, he me and him talk all the time. He's my guy. So, and he's the chairman of our scholarship here in Dallas. He helped oversee our scholarship committee.
Yeah. So, thinking about it is getting back to Derrick Henry. That's going to be the only issue with Derrick is not ability. Is how much can he sustain the punishment? Because he's a big guy. What is he, 260 pounds, maybe 265? And he's
run a 4.5. Yeah,
he's built like a brick house. And he runs a 4.5. But, Cowboys versus Vikes.
Jason, you dreaming now.
I agree with you, Jason.
Jason, you dreaming.
Yeah, they'll be in the championship game.
They ain't going to be in no championship game.
The Cowboys will win on the last play. Well, second to last play, because Kirk Cousins will fumble the ball. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Well,
and they'll pick it up. They'll do that thing that Tony Romo did.
The Cowboys might not even make it to the Super Bowl because, first of all, the Eagles going to win the East, and then the Giants going to be the wild card team coming out.
Here we go.
There you go, right there.
Everybody should dream. Everybody should dream.
Just like I predicted the NBA. I ain't talking about the NBA. I'm telling you who's gonna win the NBA. I already know.
Yeah. You said Boston like I did.
No, I didn't.
When did they play tomorrow night?
Yeah, they play Thursday night. I said the Warriors in 7. That's what I said.
You did say that, but I'm telling you right now, Boston is gonna win. But they have to go 7.
They'll win at home.
This is game 6.
I know they gonna win it in California.
Boston is gonna win it in California.
No,
you're right.
And you know what? You owe Charles Haley $100, and next week you better go.
Shoot. That's right. I didn't even think about that. You're right. I do.
Yep, you will.
You're right.
I should have made that $100 bet too.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry. I think they might give him an extension on his contract.
I think they will because he has been tremendous for that organization. And I would say that this year is going to be interesting for him because he did have the foot injury. As we know, he broke his foot.
Yeah.
And he struggled when he came back.
Right.
But he's had a whole off season to get healthy. But you never know. This thing with Saquon Barton, he was 2 years away from his knee injury.
Yeah,
and he's not the same, and maybe he will be.
I think a foot is not as serious as the knee, and I've seen a lot of players come back off of foot injuries.
Yeah, and it was broken, but where was it broken at? That's the question you have to ask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's it. But we'll keep monitoring that situation. Here's an interesting one.
What is it?
You researched it because you always research it.
I'm on Lamar Jackson. I know what you're going to say.
I was going to talk about the NFL Players Choir advances to the next round of America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
People don't realize out there how talented and how we can sing, we can dance. Well, obviously I can dance, but you can't.
You know what, Jim? I just thought about that. I'm going to have to send you a picture or two when I went down there to the Super Bowl and sung in the NFL gospel choir.
You did?
Yeah, I done did it 3 times.
What did you say? Oh, you were in the background. You were going, and you were clapping your hands, shaking, like, making sure your mouth was moving, huh? There you go. But these are talented guys.
You are a hater, man. You know, I can do it all.
But here,
I used to want to be a drummer.
Why are we talking about you when we got the NFL Players Choir?
Oh yeah, let me get back on Terry Crews. Terry Crews, who's a former player that was drafted by the Rams, played for the Rams. No, he hosts the America Got Talent.
Yep.
And so, but yeah, man, those guys are doing well. They just advanced.
Yeah, they really are, and that's exciting to see things like that because they think professional athletes, especially football players,
right,
can't do anything else. They think they just, they they can hit people or run away from people, but they don't have talents outside the football arena, which is not true, as we know.
Yeah, in fact, we got a couple of guys from Dallas that go and sing with them. I know Tim Brown is one of those guys that goes over to sing, and but they have different pool of talent of former players and players that sing with the NFL Gospel Choir.
Yeah,
and they always be at every Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, in my younger days, I would have been on America's Got Talent doing backflips. And
you know what? They gave me a memo. They gave me a memo to tell you that they want you to bring the water next time they perform. Bring the water. Jim Jeffcoat, he can carry a lot of water. Have him to bring all us the water.
Ha, 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 ha. Oh, man.
But yeah, congratulations. I was gonna say congratulations to the NFL Gospel Choir, man. That's a good thing.
Yeah, because I was gonna Google this gospel choir. This is not a gospel choir, though.
No, they just the NFL.
Choir, yeah,
they're just the NFL choir. Yeah.
But I'm gonna Google you on the gospel choir. I'm
gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna send you a picture with me on my robe. I got my robe on.
Yeah, I gotta see this. I want to see you singing that I can hear you and know it's your voice.
Oh yeah,
that's how it's gonna be.
I done did 3 performances with them for real.
Okay.
No joke.
They should have. I didn't even know they had it.
Huh?
I didn't even know they had it.
Yeah, they have it every Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's why I've been. They called me up. They said, Byron, this is I forgot the name, and I said, yeah, I'm available. So. Yeah. I said, yeah, I'll be in town, so let's go ahead and set me up to sing in the gospel choir.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look at that and see how that advances, and we'll
Absolutely.
talk about it next week. Now, Lamar Jackson showed up and said he was ready. What is your opinion? I
think that was a perfect decision. That's a great decision on his behalf, being 2 years MVP, and then. This is the deal with him. Out of 49 games he done played with the Ravens, he have won 37 games.
That is
37 games. And they only have lost 12 games. Another thing that's impressive about him is that he is with him last year, I think they were 75, and without him, they were 1-4.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But do you think that's because the offense is geared to his abilities?
Absolutely. The offense is geared to his ability, but a couple of receivers been complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I saw that.
And of course, Brown is gone to the Cardinals, right?
He was complaining about playing with Lamar Jackson. Yes.
Yeah. Well, he was saying too that the offensive coordinator hadn't really set up the offense for wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They throw a lot to the tight end, of course, backfields, the running backs and things, and of course,
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, Andrews, yeah, and Willie Snead and this other guy named Tyler Dunn. They've been talking about the offensive coordinator. His name is Greg Romans.
Yeah, Greg Romans been around for quite a while.
Yeah, he's been a while. So evidently, they was challenging them to saying that their offense is not complicated. I guess it's simple, and I guess it's predictable. And it's kind of like the way the Cowboys are playing, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, you got to give your receivers some options when they run their routes.
Exactly. And I agree with you on that. But do you think, and I heard what you said, do you think it's because of Lamar Jackson's limitations in the passing game? Or do you think it's just that the offensive coordinator is not creative enough?
I think a combination of both, but I do think this is what you do from February to June. You get in there and you set up the style of offense based off your receiver skill sets. I mean, you got different types of receivers now. You got, like I just mentioned, those guys, Willie and them, but you have to be able to build around your tight end. Of course, you got an all-pro tight end.
Yeah.
And now, you utilize these running backs. I know Dobbs, the running back, is supposed to be ready to go this year. So If these guys, a lot of times, and another thing, what happened to Baltimore was they had a lot of injuries at the end.
That's what I was going to go to.
Yeah.
They had a crazy amount of injuries. I think them in Tennessee had the most injuries in the NFL last year.
It really affected them because they was leading the pack. I saw this stat and I was like, wow, okay, they was leading the pack. They was I want to say they was 8-3,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody else was up.
Yeah,
they was the number one AFC team.
Yeah, and then
even above Kansas City and Buffalo.
Yeah, and then Lamar got injured. It just went downhill from there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and that is true. But it's going to be interesting. I like Lamar Jackson. I have nothing. I think that he is good for the NFL. He's a dynamic player. But we always talk about how much, just like we're talking about Derrick Henry, how much shelf life does he have? And he's a tremendous athlete. And you saw Kyler Murray change his game now is because he took those hits and he got injured.
Yeah.
And he changed his game. So that's going to be interesting, and that remains to be seen.
Well, that just goes for all the quarterbacks. I mean, you got to have some pocket presence, and you got to be able to know where the heat is coming from and when to get that ball out of there.
Yeah.
And that's what Tom Brady is masterminded at. He with 2 seconds, he know what he gonna do.
I agree 100%. Now, still on the NFL news, do you think the Browns have buyer's remorse on Deshaun Watson?
I think it's somewhat they do because of what came out, and he finally got his first news conference this week, and he looked like he's guilty. Just up there talking. Right. So,
yeah. Do you think he's a huge distraction? How can you focus with all this stuff going on?
I think it is a distraction. I mean, even though you want to say it's not, but it is. And then the media is going to stay on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you still have Baker Mayfield there and all this stuff coming out of Houston still with all these what have happened. Mm-hmm. And, we got all these allegations. So, yeah, it's a distraction.
Yeah. And I think, he is talented. We never can question his talent.
Right.
But how do you lead with all that stuff going on? Hey, do you think players are going to follow him? Because they don't know how long he's going to be there. The worst mistake they made, to me, is what if they have to go back to Baker Mayfield? I don't think it's feasible or possible now. But what if they did have to go back to Baker Mayfield? They destroyed that relationship.
Oh yeah, they done closed the door on that relationship. But so, I think Deshaun Washington should lock himself up at the stadium and be right there, and they should they just should if they get this behind them and move forward, that would be one thing. But yet it seems like there's so much stuff that's still lingering.
Yeah, make sure that if he is getting massages, make sure somebody's in the room.
Well, he might want to get a massage from, I don't know, Andre the Giant or somebody like that.
Somebody like that. I mean, and he should be able to get the keys because they took the keys away from Baker, and now he could have those keys.
Yeah, I know the stadium is locked up right there, so yeah.
And he knows. I'm sure Baker told him the code.
Well, yeah, he definitely had his robe on, so yeah, he cooked dinner and everything in the stadium.
Yeah, he took out the trash and everything.
Everything. Yeah. A lot of commercials in Cleveland.
Well, yeah. And you notice he hasn't been in any commercials since all this has been going on.
Sometimes you got to let these guys play football, and then maybe let them.
Exactly right.
Let them do commercials in the off season. No downtime, but they run these commercials over and over again too.
Yeah, because it was funny that we say this because in basketball, remember Chris Paul was doing a commercial. The basketball player from Oklahoma he was in. They played University of Oklahoma, plays for the
Atlanta Falcons.
Hawks.
Yeah, Atlanta Hawks, yeah.
But now they're in there doing these commercials and everybody looking at it. But they can't even get to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, Trey. It wasn't Trey. Yeah, I know. The little point guard.
Trey Young.
Yeah, Trey Young. Yeah.
Trey Young. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny you see this. Now Steph Curry's got the commercial where obviously he's making the ice sculpture and everything.
Yeah.
He is Steph Curry. He is Steph Curry.
He's the most purest shooter I ever seen in my life.
But there's nobody from the Boston Celtics that have a commercial. I noticed that.
I'm pretty sure they got commercials in.
But I'm saying on a national level.
Yeah, not on the national level. Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. It's all, and obviously Steph, even on there, Draymond Green is going to go on the telecast, but he doesn't have it in. I don't know anybody on the Golden State other than.
Yeah. Well, Marcus Smart is from Dallas area, so.
Yeah, he is. He went to Flower Mound Marcus.
Yeah.
One of the greatest games, him and Jackson, my son.
Yeah.
The greatest battles.
Yeah, that's
Marcus against Plano West.
It's fun to see him play because we know his history, his track record, and he played defense too. Boy, he can play some defense.
Yeah, but he's not from Flower Mound. He's from Red Oak.
Oh, he's from Red Oak. Okay.
Yeah, he played with a. What happened is he played with a kid that was on his AAU team, and he obviously was good.
And then they went to Flower Mound.
Yeah, they moved him up.
A lot of those football coaches over there at Red Oak is from my high school. They was back in the day. From Texarkana, lived out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it's probably difficult for them because they're not used to that much light. They're used to when it's dark, there's no lights.
Matt, we got to cut him up a little bit. We got to cut him up. You got to cut him up. That is some crazy stuff. I ain't never heard of nothing like that.
Oh shoot!
But moving back to Deshaun Watson, man, I hope everything can play well on his behalf because, man, I just think he has bring a lot of distraction to the city.
Yeah, he has. But Jerry Jones said that anytime you have news, there's no such thing as bad news because that keeps interest in your team. I disagree.
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
so here we go. Yes.
Do you realize that Deshaun Watson, if they cut him today, that would be a $214 million cap hit? Is that insane or what?
Yeah, and it has there's no protection against if he goes to prison.
Not
which
at
I don't
all.
think he is.
I mean, what happens now? Let me ask you a question. What happens if the NFL suspends him for a year? Of course, they worked out a deal that they're not only going to pay him $1 million.
Yeah.
He comes back next year and has a bad year. What do the Browns do then?
They got a problem.
They have a big problem.
I didn't want to mention this, Matt, but I was watching TV and I was listening to what he was saying, and it sure looked like he winked at me. So I might have to get into one of those lawsuits because he winked at me, and that's not my style.
That's crazy. The Browns might have shot themselves in the foot.
I think they have.
Yeah.
And now, who do they go to if he cannot play?
Just Baker Mayfield?
No, they don't have Baker. They have Baker, but who did they got another quarterback?
Man, you know what?
Yeah.
They're gonna be way over the salary cap.
Yeah, they are.
They're gonna have some salary cap problems.
Yeah, and they got Myles Garrett too. They got to pay, right?
Oh yeah, but Myles Garrett, I think he restructured his contract a little bit on the private side. I think they restructured his contract, right. And
he's a Texas kid too.
Yeah, he's from Arlington.
Arlington Martin, yeah. Mm-hmm. Arlington Martin.
Yeah.
But that's something. So let's talk about some real news, some Dallas Cowboy news.
I thought we were going to talk about the Giants first, but yeah, go ahead and talk about the Cowboy news.
Dalton Schultz reported to camp. He held out of OTAs that weren't mandatory. But as soon as it came mandatory, he wasn't going to lose money by not showing up.
Yeah, he got it. I think they were talking about franchise tag.
He already has it.
Oh, he has it?
He has the franchise, and it's
$12.
$9.7 million.
Okay, I thought it was closer to $12 million, but it's not.
Yeah, I think it's $9.7 million.
Okay.
But to me, and this is just my opinion, he is an outlet for Prescott, but I don't think he's up in the upper echelon of tight ends. We talked about the upper echelon of tight ends.
I think he's getting there. I think he's good for the Cowboys because he knows the plays. Him and Dak got the timing down.
Yeah.
And when he was healthy, he performed really big for the Cowboys.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Dak was talking about he hasn't lost weight, but he's leaned up by the foods he's eating at this time.
Yeah.
And he said this is great for him because he has the opportunity to prepare all off season. Last year, he was recovering from an injury. So it'll be interesting and shouldn't be any excuses. Obviously, you said CeeDee Lamb is the number one receiver, and they got some young kids. Well, James Washington has been injured.
Yeah.
He might be in danger of being cut.
Yeah, because those rookies, the young receiver, looking good in training camp.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
OTAs.
Yeah, and they have a couple of them. I don't think Dak is going to be more of a running quarterback this year.
I think what helped Dak was him being injured and having to come back and work hard this last year.
Exactly.
And I think he's more mature now. He sees things a little different. Just hearing him talk, you can tell that he have, that's sitting out last year being injured, the year before last, whatever. I think that have helped him.
Yeah. Now here's a shocker for me.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Garrett joins the NBC NFL pregame show.
I like Jason Garrett. I think he done a great job with the USFL.
Yeah.
He had a little practice time this year, but ever since I met him, I
like Jason. I played with Jason. Mm-hmm. I played with him. But do you think we talked about Richard Sherman earlier in the show?
Right.
Do you think Jason has enough? How would you put it? Enough entertainment value to you, because Richard Sherman's going to give you entertainment. Yeah. Jason might be like, well, but the normal fan likes a little bit of showboating or a show. It's got to be a show.
Maybe that's a little bit that he can have to add because I would listen to him in the USFL games this past season. But right now, he's doing okay, but he ain't.
That's what
he
I'm
ain't
saying.
On the Troy Aikman and Tony Romo. He ain't on their stage.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I mean, evidently they must like what he was doing in the USFL.
No, he's really smart. He's a Princeton grad. He's a very intelligent person, and like I said, I played with him, and he's a really good guy. But I just wonder because I think that's what got Drew Brees. You got to have that character, and you got to have that, and just like me, you got to be able to put yourself.
Well, one of the examples I would say was Randy Moss. At first, he didn't seem like he was in it.
That is true.
And now he's really the guy.
I like Randy Moss. Yeah.
So
I like him better than Keyshawn.
Yeah. So I do too. So I'm thinking that maybe Jason Garrett will up his like little insights and some funny things to say during this season. Yeah. But congratulations, Jason.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah, I think that's good.
You're just gonna have to work at it. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to put yourself out there and have fun with it. That's what I would tell them.
Might have to do some dancing, some just add some flavor to it.
Now,
you think about that?
Yes. Now
what?
I just asked the question. What are the top 5 defensive players in Dallas Cowboy history?
I'm scratching my neck. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Mr. Cowboy, you know who that is.
I know it. There is no question.
I have played in Bob Lilly golf tournament the last 10, 12 years. Bob Lilly is always have been a gentleman from day one. So Bob Lilly.
I would agree with you. Number 2, and I played with him. I did not get the opportunity to play with Lily, but I did play with this gentleman.
You talking about Randy White?
Yeah, the master.
But
He was.
Randy White. I like Randy White, but Charles Haley, you have to put him
It's
in.
not even close. It's not
Okay.
even close.
Okay, that's your. Okay.
Randy was a different dude because you got to remember, if you ever see his video where he chases the running wide receiver is going down the sideline, and you were a big Cowboy fan, I know you.
Oh, yeah, Randy White, man. I used to love watching Randy White.
Yeah. My next one is Mel Renfro. He was the prototype cornerback. I always thought that he was the.
I'm gonna put my next guy was gonna be Deion Sanders.
Yeah, but Mel Renfro, he was.
But he played all his career was with the Cowboys.
Yeah, and Mel Renfro, I'm thinking all people who played their total careers with the Cowboys.
Okay,
that's how I put it together.
Okay.
My next one would be Ed Too Tall Jones. And the reason I like Ed is because he tapped me 2 passes and I ran him in touchdowns against the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, somebody on my Facebook said, I hate saying Jim Jeffcoat because he
saw that.
He put a dagger in the Giants' heart when he did that. I said, yeah.
And I think Too Tall was.
And another thing about Too Tall, he's he's a great guy, man. He's, I asked him for autograph for people, and he always been right there, man. Too Tall, 16 years, outstanding, outstanding.
Yes, and then my next one would be interesting because I had to choose between Harvey Martin and Chuck Howley. But the reason I picked Chuck Howley is because he was the only player in NFL history to win the MVP of the Super Bowl on a losing team.
Exactly.
So that's my top 5.
That's your top 5. Well, I don't know that much about Chuck. I remember him, and I know that he was a legend. But my top 2 guys that I would put in there was going to be out the Too Tall. Was going to be Jim Jeffcoat. You
can't put me over Harvey Martin.
And then Harvey Martin, because Harvey Martin's a Kappa like me. We fraternity brothers. Yeah. But another player that I really like and respect, and he does a lot with me and for me, is Everson Walls.
Oh yeah, you can put Walls up there.
But we just saying defensive lineman. He's a defensive player, right?
Yeah, top 5.
Okay, but it's kind of hard when you picking them, man, because there's so many good and great Cowboys. All you gotta do is just look at the Ring of Honor and things like that.
You look at, and unfortunately, Don Perkins died last week, and that was sad. He was up on the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor. Yeah, number 43.
The class.
Number 43.
Yeah, good man too. Now let's
right, huh?
Yeah, I want to make sure we get this Giants news so you don't.
Yeah, let's get the Giants. Let's get on this.
You talk about they're talking about the tight end, Daniel Bellinger, 6'5", 250, and loves to block.
San Diego, he was a 4th-round draft choice out of San Diego State.
San Diego State. They have some.
You know what? He only had 5 touchdowns in his 4 years at San Diego State.
Yeah.
But what I think and what I know is that he have worked hard, and he's working hard and really showing out in OTAs, really having a good offseason.
Well, good for him. Good for him. And Saquon, they're going to move around all over the field.
I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good because your offense is not going to be so predictable.
Yeah.
I like offenses that's not predictable. So move them around, have personnel change.
Can he handle being in the slot or out wide, or you know what I mean?
I think he can.
Okay.
I think he's skilled enough to handle that. I just think he just got to be confident in knowing that his knee is healthy and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said Bob Lilly, Randy White. How would you put Roger Staubach is not a defensive player?
Yeah, he's not a defensive player. We talking about defense.
We're talking about defense. Well, we'll help you out there, Mac. But
I think I think they're moving him around. Gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think that'll be difficult because he'll get some matchups. And right now, the NFL is a lot of matchups anyway. So
That's what it came to.
Yeah,
having the matchups.
Now, who would be your top 5 Giants defensive?
The guys I mostly play with. I mean, we got some great guys. You got Lawrence Taylor,
no question.
Michael Strahan.
I can agree with that.
I like Leonard Marshall, man. He was.
I can agree with that. He's class A.
And George Morton was a great guy.
That's who I was thinking.
Yeah, and Justin Tuck. Justin Tuck was pretty good.
Even over Mark, I was thinking Mark Collins.
Mark Collins, yeah, he was probably one of the best defensive backs.
Mm-hmm. Terry Kennard, I thought of both of those guys.
Terry Kennard was our first-round draft choice. Mark Collins was a second-round draft choice. And but I played with Carl Banks.
That's true. We didn't say him.
I played with Gary Reasons.
Yeah, you got some good points.
And then of course Pepper Johnson. I mean,
that's true.
So really the Giants. Most of the guys that I know personally that that around my time will be in my top 5. And so and Harry Carson, man, he not only
we didn't even say him and O.G. Monero.
I know, yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah, Sam Huff. So yeah, I mean, it's such those guys. Sam played before me, but I'm talking about the guys when I was playing with the Giants. Outstanding, not only good football players, but great guys in the community and off the field and family people. Yeah. All those guys was.
Yeah, interesting things on Sam Huff is I never forget this. Ernie Stotner was my D-line coach when I first came to the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that Sam Huff wasn't the best linebacker in the NFL. He always said Chuck Bednarik was. And he said that Chuck Benares was the real deal.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you what he told me.
I tell you another player that I like that didn't get a lot of credit while he was playing was Jim Burt.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Burt, man, he was over that center, man, and he got he got cut up a lot, but I'm telling you, you talking about tough and was consistent. But but who played kind of like you? You remind me of a George Morton. You guys got interceptions, ran those touchdowns.
Tied in interceptions.
Yeah,
I think we are.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good list that you have, and I can respect anybody to put on those lists.
Yeah.
Like, because I happened to grow up in the New Jersey Metroplex area, and you got to look at the Giants. They never won, but
we did. We started winning. we started winning in the.
I was already winning in Dallas, so
you wasn't winning that much. So
I was running touchdowns against them.
You ran a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah. So the NFL Stanley Cup is tonight. It's the Colorado Avalanche against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning are trying to win 3 in a row. And it hasn't, I think, been done since the New York Islanders won 3 in a row.
New York Islanders, New York Rangers.
I think it's Islanders.
Okay.
Won 3 in a row. And Tampa Bay is trying now. I got to give Tampa Bay credit.
Yep.
When they were down 2-0.
They fought back.
And they fought back and got there. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know enough about it to say it, but everybody's telling me that Colorado's really good. And they have
what I like about hockey, it's a game of momentum.
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay, man, they just got that heart and that will to win, not give up. And that's what you got to have to win championships.
You're exactly right. And I mean, they did what they have to do. They have the heart of a champion. Because a lot of people would have just said, forget it. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Absolutely.
So they did.
And that's what I always say. That's why you play the game.
Yeah.
It's never given. And champions always see it that way. You play to the very end.
Yeah.
That's how you teach your kids. You play to the very end, And don't think the other team gonna actually win a game when you got to still have time on that clock to play.
No question. No question.
Yeah.
Do you realize that we're about 4 weeks from training camp?
Man, that's why I'm getting this itch.
I know.
You don't know nothing about no itch.
No, because I go in there, I'm ready to play. So I was born with it. Why should I itch?
You know what? By this time of the year, I probably ran about 200 miles when I was getting ready.
You're probably right.
I wasn't running this week, so I'm still trying to run.
I ran to the kitchen and back here.
Well, that means you don't know nothing about no backpedaling.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to backpedal. I was the D lineman. Why would I backpedal?
I'm just saying, sometimes you got to, when you train, that's what I'm starting teaching my kid. When you train, you got to run backwards. Because you know why?
Why?
We walk all day long forward. And guess where your speed is? Your speed is in the back of your leg.
Hamstrings and
absolutely. That's why you run back. You train back.
I did some backwards on the treadmill.
Okay.
Yeah, and you got to remember, I trained with Herschel Walker.
Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, I remember you.
I trained with him, so I did everything.
I remember we had Herschel on the show, and he was telling us about some of the training time you and him had.
Yeah, we had great training. I mean, Herschel was something now. He was.
Yeah.
They asked the question, would he be as successful in this era as he was obviously in his era? I think he would have, because he was just one. He's like Bo Jackson.
You know what?
Dion, they're rare athletes. And Lawrence Taylor. It don't matter what era they're in.
People they come up with these schemes and talk about versus this time versus that time. It's some players that we play with and play with that we play with would be on top of the game like they would like no other. I mean, just think about the style of offenses and the style of defenses that they have.
These guys transcend all that. So.
Exactly.
And you're right, because Lawrence Taylor would have been Lawrence Taylor.
Man, I'm telling you, if you played on the Lawrence Taylor team and you see him up close, you said nobody can compare.
That's the truth, and that's the truth. There are certain players that transcend. They could have played in any era. Speaking of that, I know we're getting close to that 2-minute warning. Bruce Smith, who I think was the most phenomenal player I ever played with. I'm not taking anything away from Reggie White, but I never played with Reggie. Mm-hmm. Bruce Smith was talking about getting Pacelli in there, and he felt that he didn't do enough to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was saying, basically what he was saying, we played a playoff game against him in ’96, and he did good. Pacelli did it, and they think that was the reason he got in. I disagree. I don't think I mean, Bruce might have had an off day, but everybody has an off day.
Absolutely.
But I kind of understand what Bruce is saying. One game you're going to put guys and look at his career. His career was short.
Right. What did he play? 10 years?
I don't think he played 10 years. I could be wrong.
Well, he's probably the best profound lineman for the Jaguars.
Yeah. But should that make you a Hall of Famer?
No. But, sometimes I think maybe they look at some of these players and these teams that don't have a number of players in the Hall of Fame, so they're trying to get
right.
But
I don't think that's right.
I knew it.
I think the Carolina Panthers, did they get Sam Mills in?
Yeah, I think his wife. Yeah, I think Sam Mills is in.
But I still think it should go on the merits of your performance.
Absolutely.
And Jimbo Covert, he didn't play a long time, and he got in.
Yeah.
He won one Super Bowl, but that's it. Yep. We're getting to there, and we got to get to this victory formation.
Victory.
So we're getting out of here, and hey, enjoyed everybody. We'll be back next week. You guys have a good week. It's Hump Day anyway.
Yeah, and plus it's Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the land.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Matt.
And baby.
Great job, guys. You had a heck of a show tonight.
Hey, NY, you know what that means? New year, Jim. New year.
Hey, I'm getting off. I can't take it no more.